Morning. Let's see. We might be going live here.
Are we going live?
Yeah. I bought a new light. We're gonna get some light back over here.
Let me get my Facebook thing going here.
So we're here. We're here on the Topeka Factor. We got Marshall Barber.
In the white hat as always.
Yes, the good guy. Oh wait, here. I want to read this here.
Well, good morning, sports fans. Back by popular demand after a 1 week post-election hiatus. The Topeka Factor is back.
We are back
on Facebook
Jack,
Live.
Do it again.
We weren't able to do our broadcast last week because I could not find a pair of pants to wear that had not been pissed in.
That had not been pissed in?
Yeah,
that's funny. Hey,
needless to say, my guy did not. I shouldn't say guy. It seemed like most of the people that I backed this year did not win.
Oh man, including me,
including you.
But
Nancy
you know where
Boyda,
you win?
Nancy Boyda.
You win because I get to help with all the real estate deals.
Cool. Well, the only candidate,
and I got some new listings. We can talk about new listings.
Let's talk about listings. The only candidate that I backed who won was Patrick Schmidt.
Oh man, yeah, he did a good job. You know, he told me that. Well, anyway.
Anyway, that's the election.
Hey Patrick, I don't think that you're going to get interned.
You're
not
going to
go to an internment camp.
Oh, what is he? Did he say something about that?
Jokingly.
What?
I pray he said that jokingly.
Well, I hope that if there are internment camps, that they
maybe that's the answer to the homeless. We take them. Hey,
they're talking about camps for the homeless.
If you're going to go to internment camp, you got to take a homeless person with you. If somebody was
if you can pick,
I don't have the answer to homelessness.
Who does? But if you can pick your internment camp, I hope they commandeer Camp Wood down there by Elmdale. Is Camp Wood still there?
I don't know.
That was the Episcopalian church camp.
Oh, wow.
And I went there for several years when I was in junior high. Camp Wood in the greater Elmdale vicinity. And it was quite beautiful because it's right in the middle of the Flint Hills.
Camp Wood. That's cool.
I remember one year the river was getting ready to flood. The Cottonwood River was going out of its banks, so we had to evacuate. And I ended up getting an emergency ride home.
Was there an iconic bridge?
There was. That was just about ready to go give way. And I had to hitch a ride with Father Allen Hancock, he was an Episcopalian priest. And he was kind of related to the family that had Hills, that started Hills. I think he married into the family.
Well, that's a good deal.
But anyway,
his prayers were answered.
Fond memories of Camp Wood. If I'm going to be interred, what's the word for it? Interned. That's where I want to go.
So
maybe since
Trump only won Shawnee County by 35 votes.
Well, I was surprised that he won Shawnee County.
Well, and I was counting on the Trump factor from the Republican side.
Oh, to pull
on the down bottom. Yeah, I did. Okay. I mean, so in my mind, I think I worked hard. Hey, look, if you want to run for an office, start today. And this is what you do. Go get some cards printed. Just get business cards. And then start going door to door. Because you'll get politics. You'll really find out the disconnect between the people in their houses and the way governments run.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so in your face. I'm telling you something. I'm getting lectured by some people from Paraguay whose family, Paraguay, down in South America.
Okay.
And to hear them, their family were Kansas missionaries that went down to Paraguay to spread the word. And when they got here, they've been back here 7 years. It's just like socialism. We left South America to get away from what it seems like what you guys are turning into.
Now, are these Paraguayan natives, or are they from here and
No,
moved
they're
there?
Paraguayan natives. Their family, though, were Kansas
Well,
missionaries.
Paraguay was a military dictatorship for many years. There, there was a guy down there named Stressner who supposedly gave safe harbor to a lot of Nazis.
Okay.
But that's way back when.
Yeah, but listen to this.
Way back when.
He says, I've been to the tomb of Adolf Hitler because he got out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's well known in Paraguay.
That Hitler escaped?
Oh, yeah.
It's well known.
Yes.
It's a Paraguayan. Is it
Prophecy.
Paraguayan legend?
Yes.
Or is it
Apparently, Trump goes down there and prays to the tomb, huh?
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Did you just drop the F-bomb
Yeah,
on
I
the
guess
Topeka
so.
Factor?
It is my show.
This,
Well, it's half my show.
my show, my rules.
No. It is the Glass House's studio,
Right.
but no, this is, you get better ratings than me.
I think the F-bomb.
People like you.
Well, they should.
Well,
That's
when
what
I'm
they
out
should.
there and about and people come up to me and they talk about the Topeka Factor,
Am I not a likable individual?
no, it's all Marshall Barber. I'm just like dead weight on your show.
Oh, shut up.
So good morning.
ST
Hey, I'm telling you. So, we're going to live out on X.
We're on X.
Oh yeah, man, because Elon Musk.
There's a new what do you call it? Platform.
What's it called?
People, I just read this in the Wall Street Journal, I think, that people are bailing out of X and joining something called Blue Sky.
I don't know.
Have you heard about that?
I've had enough.
We actually, I'm not going to use last names, but actually we have two Daves watching on my
Hello,
Facebook.
Dave and Dave.
And then there's Lee down in Texas. Maybe somebody watching right now knows about Blue Sky, a new platform.
Well, here's the main thing that you've got to know is that the mainstream media is dead. It's all podcasts. It is. We've got a future.
See, on page 1 of the Wall Street Journal from the weekend, elections, other victor, new media platform.
Yeah, see?
2 weeks ago, Donald Trump sat down with the podcaster Joe Rogan for 3 hours. 3 hours, which drew more than 45 million voters. Or, well, I shouldn't say voters, but 45 million views. That's
And
just,
Kamala wouldn't go on Joe Rogan.
yeah, you know, people are saying, well, if Kamala had spent more time talking to the Malaysian immigrant community in Fresno, she would have won. But actually, no. Maybe if she'd
I don't know.
gone to Joe Rogan. But I think people, myself included, tended to vastly underestimate the impact of the unpopularity of the what you could call the Biden-Harris administration.
Well, and I don't even think it was her administration.
Well,
It was, and I don't even think it was Biden's administration. I think, look. I'm telling you. Have you seen Joe give some speeches lately? He seems coherent. Maybe he's just because he's glad to get out of it.
he's had some rest.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. On the other hand, there was a picture.
Well, what if it was rigged?
There was a picture of.
Remember Crazy Joe and the Mafia that used to walk up and down the street in the bathrobe?
Well, that was Joey. No, wait, that was no. That guy's name was not Joe. That was Vinny the Chin Giganti. I'm probably mispronouncing
No, I
the
think
name.
yeah, I think you're getting it. The chin,
The Chin. And yeah,
Marshall the Hat.
he pretended to be crazy. Now,
No, I think that's what Biden's doing.
but the guy who really was crazy, who got assassinated in Umberto's clam house, was Joey Gallo.
Now, did they take him out due to that was their way? That was their mental health cure.
Yeah,
They-
that was their way of saying, Joey,
You're out.
you need a vacation.
You're out. Permanently.
But that's old school New York City mafia there. And Joe Biden, on the other hand, there was a picture of him. This is a real photo in the latest issue of New York Magazine. There's a picture of on Halloween. There was a little baby dressed up like a chicken,
And he bit the baby.
I'm telling you, there's a picture of
A
him.
chicken leg.
Yes, actually, you called it pretending to bite the leg of a baby dressed like a chicken. Meanwhile, in Iowa,
I like chicken legs.
one, and I didn't bring this story, but this is a pretty big thing. Speaking of chickens, 1.5 million chickens are starving to death because one of these companies, it's a complicated USDA thing, but anybody watching me on Facebook Live or watching this Topeka Factor, you can look this up. The USDA and the Biden administration, and this was not an election issue, but this is a real thing.
Starving chickens.
They tried to subsidize the creation of a lot of new food processors to try to break the stranglehold. It's like
Tyson has.
Yeah, there's Tyson and a couple of others. National Beef, but 3 or 4 companies produce like 85% of your poultry, your hogs, your
I
beef.
only eat wild caught salmon.
Well,
Dr. Gundry.
That's probably a good. Anyway, some of these companies that were created by this special financing have gone under, including this one company in Northwest Iowa, which announced that it could no longer afford to feed the 1.5 million chickens it had been raising.
Well, just give them away.
Well, they don't know what to do. I mean,
look, this plan's really come home to roost.
You shut up.
I'm riding that chicken thing to the end of the roof.
You just turned 1.5 million chickens loose. Maybe Michael Hooper knows about this story. Michael, what we've been talking about.
He's mining Bitcoin today, probably.
Huh?
His Bitcoin's probably looking
Bitcoin's
good.
up to 80,000. Things are going crazy. But
my oil stocks had a little jump.
Hmm?
My oil stocks.
Yeah. I think, well, we could talk about stocks, but first of all, Michael Hooper, if you're still watching, look into that story about the starving chickens in Northwest Iowa. There's 1.5 million of them.
Hang on. Hey, Ziggy. Is there starving chickens in Iowa?
And it's really quite sad because there was this article mentioned a family in southern Wisconsin, I think it was, that had invested all this money in this project, thinking they were going to be selling chickens, I guess, to this company that had all the chickens, and they were supposed to be getting a check for $400,000, and it never got there. So they are going broke. Taylor Farms in North Carolina? I don't think so. I should have brought the article. So, and anyway, this is definitely a time in which a lot of strange things are happening in this world.
Well, I'm not prepared. I'll come back to the show.
As Sister Rosetta Tharpe used to say, strange things are happening in this world. Okay, what is that?
This is my like Alexa.
Oh, that's okay.
Or Echo, but I named it Ziggy.
Mm-hmm. This is the Topeka Factor, and we are once again in the studio.
And I want to thank everybody. I do. Let me take a chance on the Topeka Factor, and I want to thank you. You've been a dear friend to me during the election. I appreciate it. And it's really, you run for office, you find out who your friends are.
Yes.
Some guy, yeah, I'm running for office. He goes, what are you running for? My life. He goes, you better run fast.
Well,
but a lot of good people.
I'll tell you something about that. You also find out who your friends aren't.
And that's okay too.
That's okay.
No, I'd rather have somebody be honest to my face instead of find out in a voting booth.
Because I was trying to help Nancy Boyda, and out of all my friends, I guess I had 2 that agreed to take yard signs.
Well, let's get her in. Let's make her a pundit from the side.
But and I'm not going to be like proselytizing my friends, but out of this group of people that I run around with, that I would say maybe 9 or 10 people, there were only 2 of us who made any kind of financial contribution. And
you got to put your money where your mouth is.
And quite a few of them did absolutely nothing except to say, well, I hope she wins. Uh, so, like I said, you find out who your friends are.
Does she need some money?
I don't know. I
Well,
don't
let's
think
find
so.
out.
We're going to.
I mean, because that's really a friend, is you give the loser money.
We're going to.
And
have,
I'm not soliciting.
Yeah, he's not soliciting. We're going to have a.
But I'm down 5K.
We're going to try to get together and have an election post-mortem down there at the weather room.
No,
At some
well,
point.
that's expensive. Why don't we have a postmortem at your listing on 10th and Topeka? Let's have a party down there and invite the local realtors to come down and preview it. Let's use our energy in a positive way. Okay, so I got a call from a friend of mine named Mark Klein, and he's the Mace Rich guy.
He's in Dallas.
Yeah, and he said, Henry, there's a mayor down in Topeka that's a developer, and he ran as make me mayor because I put me in for what I know, and I guess the town is booming.
This was a mayor where?
Somewhere in Texas. We'll try to get Mark on the show or have him call in, whatever. But I want to investigate that because I think that we should have a mayor that knows something about economic development. We farm too much of our stuff out. And,
I was getting my oil change the other day. And I had a rather lengthy discussion with somebody about the exact issue you're discussing right now.
Well, what,
This was
consultants
this-
or
this-
electing people that know something?
This is a businessman. This is a guy, he probably works 10, 11-hour days, and he's into the automotive business, and he doesn't make a lot of money, but he makes fairly good money. And when I started telling him about some of the particulars of Topeka city government, all these settlements, have you noticed?
Oh, my.
All these lawsuits in which the plaintiffs get a few 100,000, the lawyers get close to $1 million. But what he was, and this is a long-term Topeka resident who is basically expressing some rage, but mostly incredulity at the form of government that we have. In other words, the form of government that we have seems to do no governing.
Well, if I had...
Like he wanted to go back to what we had.
But you got to have 7.
You got a strong mayor, and then you had water, street, finance, and park commissioners.
So you get it's got to be 7 people.
Got to be an odd number.
Yeah, but it's got to be more than 5 because you can pay, it's easy to buy a couple of them.
Okay.
And let's not fucking kid ourselves that people make an investment in
the
politicians.
Count is now up to 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the Topeka Factor with Henry McClure and me, Marshall Barber.
But look, you make contributions. I mean, the idea of what a contribution is you're buying your access. But you sure as hell don't need that with me.
You're providing support.
Yeah, because you want to be able to call the guy and then he answers the call.
Yeah. On the other hand, you got again. This is kind of national. I don't want to distract too much from the.
Why the national? Hey, hang on. How about Trump's first thing? The Department of Education's gone. We're sending all the money back to the states. How do you argue that?
Do you see that happening?
Yes, I do. He's already announced it.
I don't know how he does that, but here you go. Also from Saturday.
Well, when you control the House and the Senate.
Wall Street's big names, once wary of Trump, now want in. Did you see this?
Name a couple.
Huh?
Here, let's see.
Okay. How about Mark Rowan, who is the Apollo Global Management CEO?
Did you like his appointment of chief of staff?
Then you got Howard Lutnick.
Because Trump doesn't know any strong ladies.
Huh?
That's what they were said. Hey, and Carol, if you're watching, just lighten up on all this stuff.
Who?
Carol.
Carol.
Yeah. Our friend Carol.
Carol, she must be one of your viewers.
No, you introduced me at the Patrick Schmidt kickoff. You know Carol.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, she's picking on me right and left.
I'm hearing from a commissioner who says he was one of that odd number of 5 commissioners and no one ever tried to buy me or could.
Well, is that Jack Alexander?
No, that's Gene.
Gene who?
Gene Miles.
Hello,
Good
Gene.
morning, Gene.
Well, good. You had morals.
Gene, come back to Topeka and help us straighten this town out.
Gene, where is he?
I'm not sure.
The government machine.
Here we have Salina, Texas, booming north of Frisco. Van Alstyne, Texas, north of McKinney.
Now, are any of these where the mayor is the real estate developer?
Lee Pewitt, tell me, are any of those towns where the mayor was a real estate developer? Well, yeah, one of my Facebook Live correspondents, Gene says he lives on the beach. Nice. That's
where, down at Corpus?
I don't know which beach. I'd be kind of leery of the Florida beachfront at this point.
I didn't like living in Florida. I lived there twice. You have 2 seasons, summer and hotter.
Yeah, I don't know if you could pay me to live there. I'd like to live, if I had like $8 million, I'd be willing to spend $2 million on a condo in
Vegas,
Miami Beach. Because
I'm home. I like it here. I've been around the block.
Well, I'm not saying I'd live there full time. I'm just saying that when I used to go down there with Jerry Whitmer, there was a little place called the News Cafe.
Oh yeah, down on South Beach.
Yeah, right.
I like that place.
And you know, you could get your
get your day going.
Get your breakfast.
You get your Wall Street Journal.
Get your daily news. I mean, any newspaper that you wanted. If you could read Le Monde in French,
Je m'appelle Henri, très bien.
They got that.
Hey, I got.
They had the racing form. You could sit there, eat your breakfast, handicap the horses, and then go up to Gulfstream Park and play the horses.
I thought that was Hialeah.
No, Hialeah closed a long time ago.
Oh, well, I'm old.
They actually now we have got an interesting representative here.
Which one?
Gene says he lives in Washington and that tsunamis are his only concern.
Okay. Washington
the state. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what was he? A water commissioner, a police commissioner? Which commissioner?
Gene, I don't remember.
Well, does he remember?
Well, maybe he'll tell us. I think.
No, did Gene say I don't remember?
No, I said I don't remember. I think.
Well, ask Gene.
I don't,
because if he doesn't remember, it doesn't count.
I think he was already in after it had switched to districts rather than jobs. In other words, it used to be you got elected by your job description. Street commissioner, finance, etc. Okay, he was street commissioner.
Good. We need him back.
We do.
Tell him to look at my video this morning about I'm down there on that brick road, and
we also have the daughter of my all-time favorite mayor, Bill McCormick, tuned in.
Oh man,
I've got a mayor. When is the next city election?
Well, I'll tell you as soon as I register for mayor.
Is it this spring?
No, it's 206.
2026?
Yeah, Andrew, do you got the paperwork ready for me? But I'm going in as a developer. I'm not going in as hey, I can solve all the problems of the world because I can't. But I know what I know, if you know what I mean.
Maybe, yeah. Good quote. Edie Brickell, yeah. Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians.
There's going to be a lot of changes. I'll tell you something. Here's the relief that happened to me, y'all, is I made a campaign promise to give up my real estate license. And because I wanted to be true to the position, no perceived or any conflict of interest. So the win was that I still get to be in the real estate business. Well, I should never give that up because that's what I'm good at. I just got some land listed up behind the Great Play on Tyler up in North Topeka, the old YMCA.
Oh, yeah.
Got some acreage there. And I got an assignment to go buy some land. So I man, if you haven't seen me in a while lately, it's kind of regrouping. I'm thankful. I'm grateful for those that supported me. And I did not lose the election. I got a lot of people out there because at least it's enough to say, Kevin, you're not all right, buddy. You're not. And I just don't know what Kevin brings to the party. And here's a prediction right here. I'm making it on the Topeka Factor.
A Topeka Factor
Prediction.
first,
Henry
sports
McClure
fans.
prediction. Here we go. In the next 6 months, Kevin Cook will get a job, a corporate real estate job or a corporate lawyer job from somebody big within the chamber to carry the water. You know, because he lost his contract
Well,
over.
does he still act as? Oh, Gene says sorry for the interruption here, but ran for mayor against Bill, and he beat me. That was my first run for office. I went on to run for the city council after we changed, and Doug was the mayor. Doug Wright.
Doug Wright.
The late Doug Wright.
That boy, he loved history.
Oh, especially baseball history.
Well, he also loved. He gave me a tour of the Ritchie House one day. It was
Okay.
cool.
Now we've got a third Dave dialing in. This is the Topeka Factor on my Facebook live feed. I'm talking with Henry McClure.
Hey, look, I dressed today.
It is the Topeka Factor.
Yes, yes.
So we were
Feel
talking
overdressed.
with regard to your controversial prediction that Kevin Cook will be within 6 months. You say
Yeah, within 6 months, he'll land some big job.
he'll land a big.
He'll land a big as a corporate lawyer, or I'll bet you'll have a big client. Well, I mean,
Does this mean
Does this sound like sour grapes?
Does this mean he'll resign from this?
No. Why should he?
He can do both.
Well, he did it. That was his Achilles heel, as I saw it, working for the city. He can't stand up against the city if you're getting 190 grand from him.
Oh boy.
You know, so his contract with the city as the public defender, you can't go yell at your boss and say, you know what, that was a stupid move.
Right.
You know, so
what kind of jobs are there that are out there that he might take?
well, there will be
Or are these contracts?
there will be some big person within that's a chamber member and a member of the Greater Topeka that will take him under his wing, and he'll just be a lawyer for him.
So it'll be kind of a side hustle.
Yeah.
You're saying.
Well, what is his deal? Is he a lawyer or is he a politician? I don't think he's good at either of them.
Well, okay. Write this date down. This is November 13th.
Here, okay. You want me to write it down on there?
This is the day that the Topeka Factor, at least the Henry McClure half of the Topeka Factor. I'm not saying I'm making this prediction. There he is, writing the date down. That within 6 months. What is 6 months from now? What would that be? The fifth month of 2025? Would that be May?
Hey, the writing's on the wall.
Writing's on the wall.
Where did that come from?
Big job coming up for re-elected county commissioner Kevin Cook. Maybe we could talk a little bit about local real estate.
Let's talk about real estate.
There was this thing in the paper. Let me get the headline.
Because you know what I want to do now?
Finding solutions in empty properties around Topeka. But then the article went on to describe properties in Topeka that were already developed, like the old Curtis Junior High and a couple others.
Well, one I want to work on is the worst one is the Sumner School.
Okay.
And we got to, you know who I want to bring in here?
The Sumner School.
Lassiter, Sandy. Let's get Sandy Lassiter in here because the city council turned her down.
Right.
Because she was Sandy Lassiter.
Yeah, well, okay. That's your interpretation. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know.
Well, I know Topeka. It's a Topeka Factor.
We ain't Frisco, Texas. That's for sure.
What's going on there?
They're the fastest growing city in North Texas.
Who said that?
Lee.
Is that the one where the mayor's the developer?
He says he...
Here,
There's a Mayor George Fuller McKinney is he's also involved in a local blues band, but he's a contractor and a home builder in McKinney, Texas. So if you're looking for a high growth area, Uh, Frisco, Texas. We could go visit a city like Frisco
And do a show?
and just see what they're doing.
Let's do it.
Just see what they're doing.
I mean, that's what I thought would make me a good candidate in politics. Is I've lived in 11 different cities. Yeah, I saw how they worked.
One of Trump's cabinet members is coming from North Texas. Which one?
Okay, so how do we do this? How do we all get along? So I've never said Trump is the best thing since white sliced bread. Okay, and so he got elected, won the popular vote, won the electoral vote. So let's just move on now. Let's see how. Let's quit bashing him. Give him a chance.
It's the first time he won the popular vote, by the way. Which you can put a lot of. What are you doing? Who are you calling?
Well, I was trying to call my guy down in Texas.
Are you calling Trump?
I don't have his number.
Are you volunteering to be on the cabinet?
No, I'm getting paid for it. I ain't gonna volunteer. Hey, but I'd work for Trump. Why not?
Well, for one thing,
hey, it's money.
You wouldn't have to worry about, getting bored with your job if you work for him, because you probably wouldn't A, have the job for all that long, but B, every day would be a new day.
Well, I liked working for Mace Siegel, and Mace Siegel is 3 times the real estate guy Trump was ever. Mace was a tie salesman after World War II and in the training program at Macy's. And he became the 3rd largest mall owner from White Lakes. And Dana K. Anderson made Mace rich, literally. And we were recyclers. We bought existing malls and recycled them. We made the deal with the big owners that had already made their money, that wanted to retire and go into the good night. And we were able to pump life in them. Mace hired guys like me because we didn't know any better. We'd ask people to do deals,
Yeah.
And what?
So is there any possible way that the Sumner Grade School
let's talk to the people. We got to get it back.
Could we do eminent domain?
Well, we got to figure it out.
Because apparently the people who own it are totally unresponsive.
Well, we could. I mean, if there's anybody that can figure out how to get something done like that, it would be Topeka, Kansas. Oh, I never told you my Paraguay. I never finished the Paraguay story. These people they had some code violations. All their stuff got taken.
In Paraguay?
No, down here on.
In Topeka.
Yeah, across from the Waters, the old Roach Hardware on 21st. They live over in that neighborhood.
Okay.
I think probably. I don't know whose district it is, right across from Washburn to the east. They live in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Anyway, the Paraguayans, is that right?
Yeah.
The Paraguayans. So he's telling me, he goes, man, I go down to this code compliance and it's all these old people. He goes, I think code compliance is preying on the elderly people. And here I got a Paraguayan telling me, he goes, I think code compliance uses this whole thing as a profit center. He goes, I want to create a company that does some charitable work on the weekends to help these seniors that are down there fighting with code compliance. And then listen to this. His real estate valuation jumped up 60 grand because he painted his house.
Wow.
And so if you can, hey, we ought to start painting houses. If you're going to double the value by painting houses.
Not to sound like a broken record, but I really thought that if a certain candidate for the county commission would have gotten a mailer out to every property owner in the district, the results of that election might have been different. Possibly.
Yeah, I think,
I think if you're going to run for.
Okay, but what was crazy was the demographic of people that were shaking their phones at me.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like people in their 70s and 80s going, hey, I watch you on TV. And they're shaking their phone at me. Hey, and you guys, I love you guys. So the demographic, and And quite frankly,
This raises an interesting question about electoral politics strategy because, on one hand, the articles are indicating that alternative media seems to be the route. The Joe Rogans, the
well, and I can
podcasts.
afford this.
Uh,
I mean, I've heard from people that are members of the Greater Topeka Partnership that got 10 to 20 emails from the chamber to elect Kevin Cook.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I talked to.
Here's the guy. No, hang on. And
I'm a big believer in direct mail. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to figure it out because I got 4 years. I went down to.
We got to wait till 2026.
I went down to. No, that's the mayor is up in 26.
Okay.
But I went down the other day to re-register to run against Kevin again.
Mm.
And Andrew said, well, we don't really have the paperwork. He said, maybe you ought to think about a city election. I said, all right, get the paperwork ready for me to run for mayor.
What's it cost to file for the city council?
$50.
$50.
And $20 to ethics. It was 10% of the salary for county commission. So it was over $600.
Yeah.
But I don't, something, I don't really care. If you want to help me, let's do a real estate deal together.
Well, let's do a deal on, there were two properties that came to mind. First of all, like you mentioned, the Sumner Grade School, that's an atrocity. That is
a travesty.
It's a travesty. It's an atrocity.
Which one do you like better? Let's take a poll.
And God have mercy on the people who live in that neighborhood who've had to watch that thing.
Yeah, and there's not an NIA in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'll start an NIA.
There you go. And then the other property.
Hey, Henry McClure Live NIA.
I don't know if this property is on anyone's radar.
This one?
But the property that used to be called the Senate, those apartments, they were apartments. And
well, what happened to it?
Jim Parrish sold the, let's see, let me make sure I got this right. I think they were still apartments when Jim Parrish sold the property in 2017 to a gentleman from the subcontinent of India. And this gentleman ran the place successfully, apparently, until fairly recently. But now it's been totally shut down, placarded, and that would be, in my estimation, that would be a great, lower income type, tax credit type project for people.
So we got to get Tyler Weibel on the show again because he was telling me the other day about a program for stock. And it's basically...
For stock?
Listen to this. So you take your gain in stock and you can invest it into real estate, and it's exactly like a 1031 exchange.
Oh, okay.
And the big gains are out in the stock market. So you could really take that. I mean, what's really sad about our profession is stocks is the number one way to make money with money, and real estate's number 10.
10?
10.
Below.
That's passive investments.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a difference between a developer and a passive investor.
Well, if you have rental property and you can be a hands-on kind of guy.
Do you like that? I don't like renting to people.
I'm just saying
then do you like it?
The good thing about real estate as opposed to stocks is that if you're a hands-on type person, then you actually have some control over the value of what you bought. You buy 100 shares of SoundHound. You don't know what's going on with SoundHound.
I do. You turn it on and it tells you what music's playing.
But where's
the value in that?
If you own a rental property on Fraser, you can go over there and repaint it every 3 years.
Well, apparently in Shawnee County, if you paint your house, it doubles the value.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We have to get with our legislature and start like a Proposition 13 they have in California, where the day you buy your house, the market value, it stays the same until you sell your house.
Oh, yeah, the taxation
Yeah.
value. Yeah, the assessed value.
Yeah,
Keep
it
the
just
assessed
stays the
value.
same, right?
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do think I think I can tell you that Earl McIntosh is going to run for city council.
Is it really?
Yeah, if I wasn't supposed to say it,
I
sorry,
wonder what
Earl.
district.
Neil Dobler.
Okay. Okay.
Lawrence Bay. We're keeping an eye on Lawrence Bay. A lot of opportunities out there for home building.
Somebody I know got a love letter from Code Compliance regarding some vacant lots in Lawrence Bay, and somebody I know just had to spend a Saturday afternoon and pay somebody $75 to help him clean up the lot.
Oh, JoJo.
But in all fairness to Code Compliance,
And I was out there the other day
that stuff should
and
not have
filmed
been.
the bullet holes and all the trash.
Yeah.
Somebody went out there. There's like KFC out there, had a picnic.
Yeah, some of these things are unforced errors. Some of these other things,
I love baseball analogies.
well, that's a tennis analogy,
An unforced error.
an unforced error.
It's also baseball.
It could be.
It is.
Okay, but
I'm bringing Ziggy in here.
if you're asserting that baseball is the source of an unforced error, that in turn is an actual
Okay,
unforced
hang on.
error.
I'm taking a small break. I'm getting.
Two F-bombs and one unforced error so far. As Henry retreats from the broadcast arena. This is, tell you what, sports fans, we're having a morning here. This is the Topeka Factor with your humble host, Marshall Barber, as well as the inestimable Henry McClure.
Henry McClure.
He's
Gotta get my name right.
he's going to return with some material reinforcements. This would be a good time to take a brief snapshot of the Topeka real estate market. The average sold price right now is $228,107. That's the average sold price in the Sunflower Association of Realtors. The median sold price, yeah, I'll interrupt myself and agree with Lee. I hope Bobby Witt Jr. does get the American League MVP. If Aaron Judge had performed better, yeah, I'd say it should go to Aaron. But really, Aaron was not a factor, and Bobby Witt was a huge factor in getting the Royals as far as they got. So yeah, he should be the MVP. Okay, back to the Topeka real estate market. We have a total of 467 active listings. The average day on the market is 26.
26 days.
The average list to sell ratio is 97%. And we have about a 1.5 month supply of unsold real estate. 57% of all the sales in this market, talking residential, are between the prices of 125 and 300,000. So if you have a house,
residential people got it made.
If you have a house you're thinking of selling, the target zone really is 125 to 300. Anything above 300, it gets kind of iffy. Kind of. Below 125, probably not so much. It's just that a lot of those houses below 125 are probably in areas that a lot of people are not interested in. So that's your Aaron dropped the baseball. That's your quick look at the Topeka real estate market. There was an intriguing article in, let's see, the Monday newspaper about, also mentions Topeka Jingle Days. That should be interesting. Finding solutions in empty properties around Topeka. And I'm thinking that the apartments at 9th and Tyler should be redeveloped by somebody. We've talked about those apartments before. It had been, I keep calling them apartments. Actually, the most recent use was a hotel, motel type thing. And speaking of which, have you noticed the complete demolition of the old Holodome?
Yeah, that's good,
At
man. That
7th and
thing was a
Fairlawn.
piece of junk.
So now what do we do with that?
Well, let the market decide. We can't sit here. Let the entrepreneur who owns it, what's he want to do with it? Apartments? I mean, that would be a great piece of real estate. You know what I always
What would
hated
be?
about the mall business was like you're walking the mall and somebody comes up to you. You know, you really need to do is put that there. Okay, let's get you in. Let's get you to do the deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've got too much of that in Topeka. You got to put skin in the game. You got to make the deal. You got to come forward.
Uh
It can't just be people telling you what to do.
huh. Right.
You know,
Everybody's good at telling someone else
yeah.
what
So
to do.
let's let the
Yeah.
market decide. Oh, some guy wants to give us 7.6 million and get us out of the hotel deal. Well, maybe we ought to take that guy's offer.
Oh yeah. Is there anything new going on with
Yeah, just spending more money.
the hotel that the city bought?
Just
Anything new?
just spending more money.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I was wanting to get this going. I don't know what
Did,
happened.
did they decide on a real estate brokerage to market that property? Is
I
that
didn't put my hat in. Ziggy, what's the weather forecast?
The current weather is 53 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect lots of clouds and thunderstorms with a high of 61 degrees and a
what?
low of 38 degrees.
No.
Hey, Ziggy, do you know about the Topeka Factor with Marshall Barber and Henry McClure?
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Well, I'm going to start, I'll pay for it. You can pay to be on their voice recognition.
Well, Ziggy doesn't know about it, but Lee knows about it, and Leroy knows about it.
Leroy!
And
Leroy!
we've had a number of people signing on and signing off. So I've got to wait until 2026
For me to be mayor?
to get my Mayor McCormick yard sign up in
No, but you can run for,
in that.
what district do you live?
Well, I live over by 10th and Gage.
Do you know who your city council person is?
It was Lesser, Michael Lesser.
Is that,
So would that be?
is that Spencer Duncan?
No, I think it's. Oh,
I ran into Spencer's dad the other day at the,
Tuck. Yeah.
yeah, Tuck, Robert Tuck Duncan.
Hmm.
And he said, Henry, that deed in lieu of foreclosure day was a good idea. Did you hear about my idea?
No.
So what you do is you just sign a deed over to the county. I'm not gonna pay my taxes. I can't pay them.
Oh yeah, a deed in lieu. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a. Whoops, just almost swallowed the microphone.
That's
there.
okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the equivalent of a deed back in lieu of foreclosure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, same
Which-
thing.
Which
Instead of because
people
Rich Eckert is the hardest working guy and he is the smartest guy.
who's that?
Rich Eckert,
Okay.
and because he's out there making all these design build contracts, he's got to do design build contracts instead of collecting taxes. That's way above him.
Mhm.
But so to keep him, more nimble, we'll just have people come in and sign their property over.
So who has to approve that?
Well, the county commissioners could do that.
In other words,
Well, the treasurer ought to be able to do it.
is there a state statute involved?
Well, no, how do you? How could you not give it back? Why would you I mean, you should be able to capitulate your property. You don't own it anyway.
We should ask maybe get him on the show sometime.
Who's that?
Our county councilor.
Oh, he wouldn't come in. He hates me
Oh, he does.
because I called him out because I think he's in cahoots
Okay.
with who gets foreclosed on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's 1,100 people and that still owe taxes.
Mhm.
Now, look, how did one guy go a decade without getting collected on in Lawrence Bay?
You mean by not collected on? You mean not even a case not even
Foreclosed.
filed?
Right.
Yeah. Well, is that by design or is that by accident?
Well, I think it's by design because I'm a cynical realist.
Because I know of I know of one other person at least uh, who owns property out there that has not been served, even though property taxes have not been paid in excess of 10 years.
Well, and I think what I could probably do is talk to some guys with a not for profit that could maybe take it off your back and market it for you for veterans. But I don't know. Let's,
It's a tough situation, but
but
I
no,
like
but
the idea of a deed back in lieu of
yeah,
foreclosure.
just deed it back. And then we don't have to go through any legal work.
Yeah.
So what? Rich Eckert's too worried about his caseload. And if we can just have people walk in and say, I mean, because that's what's going to happen.
By the way, we are now up to Dave number 4. 4 Daves so far have been.
Are these all, or you still have the viewership,
These are all different Daves.
but are they still all online?
This is my friend Chicago Dave.
I like Chicago Day.
Who's watching now.
Oh man, I got to make some more tea. Hey, I'm getting off coffee. I got a little wound up. Even my friend, my real dear friend, Alan Gooding was watching. Remember Ron
Al
Gooding?
Gooding, yeah, sure. I remember Al.
Yeah, he's around, and he was like, he was worried about me getting all uptight. Well, I was just wound too tight on caffeine, and I
It can
gave up
happen.
caffeine for a year, and I felt better. So we're gonna do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
got that going for me,
Well,
which is nice.
I am going to continue drinking coffee
Well, I'm not a hater.
for the foreseeable future. Yes. So, yeah, I'd really like to know.
And if I get elected mayor, I will not prophesize or demonize the caffeine drinkers.
Okay, that's nice. That's a very unifying statement there. Now, we have the class of '68. We have my old buddy Mike Davies watching,
Hey, Mike.
and he
Now
used-
you're a Charger, right?
yeah, he's somewhat of a I guess an expert on local rock bands. I mean, if you have a question about any kind of local rock band from back in the day, Mike can definitely set
Well,
you straight.
Remember the exceptions?
Mike, do you remember the exceptions?
Come on,
Who doesn't
everybody.
remember
I
the
know.
exceptions?
Because they were like they were the most popular band. I think they played all of our proms at Washburn Roll.
Did they really?
Probably.
Yeah.
Hey, Ziggy, do you know the exceptions in Topeka, Kansas?
I found a few options for that in Topeka. There's Randall J. Wharton, 5.3 miles away on South Kansas Avenue, Suite 1. Joseph Hollander and Kraft, 3.8 miles away on Southwest Topeka Boulevard and Family Law Headquarters. 4.8 miles away on Southwest Jackson Street, Suite 812.
Hey, Ziggy, do you know Marshall Barber in Topeka, Kansas?
Known
I
felon.
found a Moore's Hair Design in Topeka. Moore's Hair Design
What?
is 3 miles away on 736 Southwest Gage
Hey,
Boulevard
Ziggy.
in Topeka.
Stop.
Okay, Mike says that, yeah, he remembers the exceptions. And by the way, lamentably, Rick Barron just passed away. I don't know if you remember Rick or not, but he and his wife, Marta, were in the exceptions, I believe.
Oh, really?
And they were also scat cats and you know, duets, did lots of things. And we just lost Rick last week, I think it was.
Well, I do want to
Now,
tell
wait
you.
a minute. Breaking news. We have somebody who says they used to run around with Alan Gooding when they were traveling to Lawrence to party from Topeka.
Well, that's okay.
An Alan Gooding update there. See, this is all one big interconnected group we
I'm
have
telling you.
in Topeka.
And then, but we continually bring in the carpetbaggers. You know, why don't we just elevate people from within? I hope, Chief. I hope.
That's what got my gas station guy wound up the other day. The whole concept of why not promote
from within, right?
on the city police department.
Yeah, just put Clump in there.
Exactly.
The sheriff says he's a good guy. Have you met the sheriff?
Oh yeah, I've talked to the sheriff.
Sheriff's a good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In fact, we're gonna get
Sheriff, you're talking
Hill,
about
Brian Hill.
Brian Hill. He was.
Nobody
very-
runs against that guy.
Why would they?
Why should you?
But
We're fine.
he was very helpful regarding a little issue we had with the Northern Sky townhomes last year.
Well, I'm telling you, what you ought to do is you ought to get that that system they have for cameras. And so for $350, you can buy this piece of hardware, and I think $75 a year. But then you plug your up to 4 cameras into that one, and the sheriffs can mount it, mount the camera, in the law enforcement center.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're automatically connected to the network. And like if I had it here, which I will have it,
Who do I talk to about that?
Well, let's just do it together, because I'm getting one, and I'll figure it all out.
Okay.
Without calling the head cheese.
We should get one for Northern Sky.
Yes, you should. I'm gonna have.
What they get up
Hey,
there.
you know what you ought to do? You ought to also get one for 10th and Topeka.
Yeah, we could. Hoping.
But look, here's the deal. So if we had it here, and then I called 911, since my number would be registered with the system, the camera pops up inside the law enforcement center. But look, we got to get private enterprise to start helping out. See, if we get every private citizen to tune into the system, it will help keep our taxes down. Let's quit looking to government to fix everything. Stop it. Hey, put your money where your mouth is. I got $350.
I kind of wonder, with regard to the police chief, if we could find somebody who'd be on board with the broken windows theory of policing.
What, we got to go break windows?
Well, it's the broken windows theory, which is.
Well, I got one comment from somebody that worried that some of the shenanigans that went on down there with all these lawsuits, and I didn't think there was an inference of Clump being involved with it, but I just don't know the hierarchy of what a major really is responsible for. I don't know the inner workings of the cops. I've been in handcuffs before, but that's the bad side of it.
Yeah, that was your inside look at law enforcement.
Yes. Hey, our jail is really a nice jail.
It's a swell place.
Yes.
Great food.
The food. They're calling me the Godfather. I go, why is that? They go, well, you're the oldest guy in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny, you can get vegetables, because none of those guys want to eat their vegetables.
So no more elections till 26.
No, man, you got to start running for office today.
Didn't they used to have the city elections on the odd years? Like 2025, 2023, et cetera. The city elections used to be on odd numbered years.
I don't know.
But you're sure about this 2026 thing?
Yeah, because I looked up the mayor.
Because you know of someone who might be interested in running for mayor.
Yes, I do, and we've got to replace everybody. I mean, right now, the only people that are behaving appropriately are the deputy mayor and Banks. They're not voting for the hotel. At least they've taken a stand.
Who's the deputy mayor?
Christina Akala.
Okay, yeah, he got reelected.
Well, John did.
Mm-hmm. So those two.
And something, I was talking to
we got to keep Dr. Dunk.
Well, I talked to a Republican senator the other day.
Yeah.
And really said had a really good cordial relationship with John Akala, a Republican senator. Said he's a good guy.
Right.
Okay, good. We all got to get along. And maybe I ought to try to do better, but I just don't think the Greater Topeka Partnership, I look at them as the swamp and the deep state in this town. I really do.
Yeah, but how can they be the deep state if they're not actually in the state? I mean, they don't have actual jobs.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Matt Pavarnak is paid $338,000.
Are those city-funded jobs?
No.
Who pays for that?
The members of the chamber. It's pay to play.
Okay.
And God bless them, let them do what they want. But they shouldn't run the whole city from there.
I wonder how much it costs to join the.
I don't know. Last time I did, it was like $500.
Yeah.
And the guy that got me in then never called me back again, ever.
Yeah.
It was Neil Dobler, too.
Yeah.
Neil, hey, we're doing a fundraising drive.
Do people perceive you as a threat?
To what?
Well, I'm just saying, if you come in with this,
The truth?
huh? Well, as opposed to
Is telling the truth threatening?
as opposed to coming into something with an attitude of I want to join the team.
No, I've been a part of the team and it sucked.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. You ought to read the letter that Sterling wrote. I'll post the letter that Sterling wrote when the chamber wanted to. Sterling Scott owns the land where we're putting Chick-fil-A and Whataburger, or used to. And we own some of the land in the back.
Do we know when Whataburger's breaking ground?
They're already under construction, brother.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're up there working.
We should do the Topeka Factor from there because I have a friend who's ready to pitch a tent.
Hey, we ought to do.
Ready to pitch a tent.
I'll
in
talk
anticipation
to.
of their opening
I'll
day.
talk to Chick-fil-A and see if we can do it in their lobby because those aren't jobs.
What?
No, Molly Howie says those aren't jobs.
They're not jobs.
No, they're not jobs. But if Chick-fil-A were to put a distribution center out there,
So
the people moving boxes, well, those are jobs.
so if President
See
Trump
the hypocrisy of this thing?
yeah,
And it sucks.
If President-elect Trump were to come to Topeka
He would do away with Go Topeka.
to work, wait, let me finish. To work somewhere, he wouldn't pick Chick-fil-A because those aren't jobs.
No, he couldn't get a job at Chick-fil-A.
Uh, now Lee says, too bad no Brahms yet in Topeka.
Oh no, we've got a Brahms.
But we've got one of those on the way.
It's under construction, it's I think they're designing it. It's going to go across from Wendy's there on Topeka Boulevard.
On Topeka?
Yeah,
You-
they were
oh,
going to have another one up on Highway 24, but the goddamn, but the consultant that we pay $1 million a year ran Brahms off of Highway 24. So everybody
Yeah.
that lives up in Highway 24, you could have had a Brahms.
Could have had a Brahms.
But in fact, we've got to redo. We got to redo how
This was another topic of conversation I had
with this undercover guy
with
at the
my
oil
mechanic,
change.
with my auto mechanic.
I'm going to start following him around, and when he's getting car repairs, we're going to
Well-
secretly film him. Look, I got these little
the
microphones.
amount of money spent on consultants.
The consultants, it's ridiculous. And here's the thing about it is, so when you've never built anything, I built hundreds of millions of dollars, or been on the deal teams. I've been worked for the construction department at Mace Rich. That's how I got started. And so when you're elected official and you come, let's say, from credit counseling, what do you know about? And when you've got,
Counseling.
yeah, you know what I mean?
You can advise somebody not to use their credit card to buy a low sugar cappuccino chocolate chip ice cream at Brahms. If you can't pay cash for it, then don't buy it.
Here's what you do. You want to come to Topeka,
This guy Lee says he was actually in a Brahms last night.
open up a bank,
in
go to
Irving,
Heritage,
Texas.
go to Heritage Bank, open up a big bank account, join the Chamber of Commerce,
Okay, here's a job. for
make a
you.
donation to the Greater Topeka Partnership, and then roll in, and you're going to get the red carpet rolled out
Now-
for you, baby.
We've talked about, we're kind of skipping around here, but we've talked about trying to get a Capital One cafe at 10th and Topeka. But
Well,
why,
look, here's what we're going to do. If
Why
we're going to
wouldn't-
do this deal,
why wouldn't
Here's what we're gonna
Bank want to do something like that?
you don't need bank locations anymore.
Well, I maybe
All you need now is like a drive-up place, kiosk. They've got these screens that come alive. Have you seen that?
well, no, but
Look, you don't need brick and mortar anymore for banking. I mean, I bank with Chase
okay,
online.
okay.
I can transfer money to Chase, and it goes right over to Charles Schwab. Everything's all electronic.
All right.
So here, Jimbo doesn't need another bank,
Well, from a marketing
But here, let's
standpoint-
talk about leasing that building, because what you need to do is take, we get paid based on the net lease.
Right.
Okay. So figure out what a commission is on it, a one-sided commission at 6%,
Yeah.
then divide by 2, and then that's our retainer, and then you and I will go lease it out. But I'm not doing leasing work for people on the come. No way. It's just too hard.
It is.
Yeah, there's no way.
I've probably
Because they got to pay for the mailers.
Yeah, I've probably sent out 100 letters.
Did you?
And
did he pay for all that?
Oh no, I pay for it.
No, you got it. No way.
Hey, sports fans, full service real estate at your disposal. Marshall, remember, Marshall is the phrase that pays. Marshall Barber Real Estate. Thank you and good night.
Are we tuning off?
No, that was just my little commercial there.
Oh. Well, here, give it to them.
Well, didn't I just do that?
Nah, you got to look in the camera.
Okay. Well, I was looking in my camera.
But see, I like Marshall. Look, this is the thing. We got 2 guys in the real estate business that can sit at the table and work together.
There you go.
Hey, this is what I want to do. I want to go join the board of realtors
You should.
and create a commercial division.
Well, yeah, because
Just a commercial division. I don't want anything to do with MLS.
if you were to join the board, you'd be
The commercial division.
You would be just about. I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 other.
Okay,
offices.
so I'm going to do
well,
it.
You've got. Our
Well,
friend.
no, you got Bassett, and we
Yeah.
got a lot of good people. I mean,
And you got Bowling.
well, yeah, and
Coldwell Banker.
Wade Wastel does a lot of commercial deals.
Okay. So you'd have 4 or 5
Yeah,
people.
but
in the division.
I can't bellyache that they didn't support me.
Okay,
but you guys are all too busy. You're doing a deal every 27 days.
We're in Ireland right now.
We're in Ireland?
Yep. My old neighbor Mike Zimmerman is tuning in, and he's in Ireland.
Is that Stan's brother?
No relation. Absolutely.
Is it Stan and Stu?
Stan and Steve.
Steve, yeah. Do you know I saw
What?
Stan lose his thumb?
Stan?
Yeah, he lost his thumb.
I did not know that.
Yeah. He was water skiing out at Lake Sherwood, and he was trick skiing,
Oh,
and he did a 360 and got his thumb caught in the rope.
there you go.
And then, like, we saw it, like my brother Pete.
Yeah.
I go, did you see that? He goes, yeah. Something like popped up, and he's yelling.
Of course.
It was his thumb.
Mm.
He held his hand up, and man, the dude was in pain. I've always liked him. We're fraternity brothers. We're both Sigma Chi's.
You can.
And he was a yell eater at KU.
There's a lot of aspects to losing a thumb that hopefully neither one of us will ever experience. But I think there was a news
It's
story.
a very useful tool.
There was a
Opposable
news story,
thumbs is what keeps us.
There was a news story in the Topeka paper the other day about the big neglected locomotive down there on the fairgrounds. And an effort is being made to get the old steam engine and get it somewhere where people can look at it. And
Why can't you look at it at the fairgrounds?
Well, I believe Mike's. This.
No, wait a second here.
Just say, let me.
That
finish.
doesn't make sense.
This goes back. This goes back to like the 1960s. But I think Mike told me a story about how he had an uncle.
You want to water?
I think it was Uncle Stanley, who was involved in the original rehabilitation project for that locomotive, and it had been moved once or twice, and now it has been shunted over to a more or less out of the way section down there by the Stormont Vale Event Center. So anyway, not that necessarily pertains to anything. I was just having that thought that, oh, here you go. Cheers to Bill Self of KU passing Fog Allen. You know, Bill Self is now the winningest KU coach ever for the basketball team.
He's a good guy.
They look good against.
That guy's got an impeccable memory.
They look good against Michigan State.
Just in case you
Last
want to
night.
water.
Okay, I'll need to hydrate after we're done. Which actually, I think we're pretty close. What time you got there?
I don't care.
What time's your watch say it is?
Let's see here. Hey, Ziggy, what time is it?
Good morning, Henry. It's 11:48 a.m.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of wind her down here because I've got to be up to Northern Sky to meet our green pest control solutions person up there. Um, so
You want to try
what's our
the liver detox?
what's our takeaway from this morning's episode of the Topeka Factor?
Well, I'm back in the real estate business full time.
And we are finding solutions.
I
and
do
empty
have a
properties around
passion.
Topeka.
I do have a passion, and now I feel obligated to speak for those that voted for me. I love them. Thank you. And um, so we got to continue to watch Kevin every day. I'm going to watch him. And
Are you going to keep
I'm going to
attending?
run for county commissioner again.
Are you going to keep attending county commission
Yes,
meetings?
I am.
And
Half a win and showing up. I've got to represent those that voted for me.
a story we're following here on the Topeka Factor has to do with the hotel that the city bought, and also finding solutions and empty properties around Topeka. We've got the
Well, I want to help. I want to help the deed and foreclosure day.
and
Here, you
then-
want to try this?
Okay,
This is cabbage juice.
it's
and
cabbage juice.
It's the number one way to detox your liver.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, I guess my liver's got a new friend now.
Well, yeah, you got to keep things moving.
I've actually been a better caretaker of my liver for the last 41 years than I used to be.
Yeah, I'm 9.5
But-
years on that.
But boy, this stuff, how can you drink this stuff? I mean, this is not.
You pretend like, well, there's a lot of things.
I guess you could get used to it. It's kind of like kombucha.
You just,
Do you drink kombucha?
no,
I was having trouble getting used to that, and now I kind of like it.
but doesn't it have too much sugar?
Yeah, I kind of backed away from it because each one has like 20 some grams. But I'll just say, if you're a regular viewer of the Topeka Factor and have things you'd like to see us cover, or
Hey,
look
and if you
into,
want to come in and be on
or
the
if you-
studio is still in disarray. I got a new shop back. We're going to get it cleaned up. I got lighting going in back here. I bought some lighting. Yeah, we're going to continue
we have
to,
somebody, post-election.
keep an eye on the politics, and we got to replace everybody in city council. Anybody that voted for the hotel. That's the caveat.
Okay,
if you
so
voted-
how do we get that information real quick about who voted for it?
We'll just it's Cora. Just make a Kansas Open Records Act.
That's where we start.
Yeah,
That's where we start.
unless there was somebody from city council that was watching the show.
Did you go to meeting? Did they meet last night?
No, I couldn't take it, man. I'm working on
I wonder if they met last night.
Yeah, they did. I watched it on TV.
Did anything significant?
Well, I didn't watch it all. I wanted to see if Klump got the job.
Right.
Why?
Were they?
Okay, hey,
Were they-
look, if you want to get people to join the force and stick with it, promote from within. Don't wait till the final hour and bring in some guy from Austin. And that guy from Austin, he was really a nice guy, and his wife was a nice person, and they're great people. And he might have been a little more outgoing than Major Klump, but I don't care. I knew Klump's dad. You know what his dad wanted to do?
That would be Eldon, right?
I just called him Chief Klump. I
Yeah.
never knew his first name. We
Okay.
weren't like drinking buddies back then. but on College Hill, I wanted to have cameras put all over College Hill so we can do this FUSA system that we're doing then. Because look, even after we did College Hill, nobody wanted to go down there because of the reputation of the unsafety.
Yeah.
It was you just can't do one thing without just finishing it. You got to go all the way.
That's where my theory, not my theory, that's where the theory of broken windows policing would come into play. If someone were that area around College Hill, yeah, that was something I heard when the area was first being developed. And congratulations, of course, belatedly for getting that area developed. But something I did hear was how you're going to get people to buy townhomes when you're 200 yards away from somebody who'd kill you for $5.
Well, and here's the deal.
But now those
no,
people,
hang on. We sold one. You know,
yeah,
Deborah Swank sold one,
right.
and it was a nurse at the hospital.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and everybody goes down there. Oh, you can't do that.
Right.
They interfered with our contract. They ruined a sale for us.
Exactly.
And yeah, we're stuck. And then so that tax credit, affordable housing,
Yeah.
that would have qualified for the townhomes. And nobody on council wanted us to approve that.
They were nice townhomes, by the way.
They
still
were
are.
nice townhomes.
Yeah. Again, my broken windows theory of
You got to have
policing
skin in the game in this town.
is if you go over onto 14th Street, and actually code compliance could play a role in this, in that if you have property which is obviously derelict and is inhabited by derelicts, and you see some guy walking around sagging,
Derelictly.
performing various acts of dereliction, you do something about it. And then the court system backs you up. But the Topeka police have gotten pretty good at arresting people for the kinds of crimes that drive people crazy, like having your car broken into while it's parked in the street at night. The cops do a pretty good job of catching people, but then you've got this whole network, social network of presumptive probation and all this other stuff, where these guys just get out again.
We got to get this. We got to get the private sector to step up and buy cameras, the Fuchsia's cameras, and connect them to the police department. I don't mind.
That's one thing we could do.
I don't mind Big Brother watching.
Right.
If you're not doing anything wrong, what do you care?
Well, good point.
You don't have to film your bedroom.
Right. Yeah, I would like to know.
I know Jimbo owns a property over here. He said he'd pay for a camera.
I would like to know who stole my bicycle one day out at Lake Shawnee. I'd like to know who broke into the studio we used to have in the basement of the building at 7th and Quincy.
We are gonna do a studio back there. A better this.
Because
I like being here, and I don't want to move again, but I want to figure out how to get the radio studio going.
Yeah, we really need to do that.
Hey, do you like the addition of the whiteboard?
Yeah.
Because look, we can start putting topics up there, and then follow the topics. We could actually have a format for our show.
Well, now that we don't have the election distracting us anymore.
Did you watch Late Night last night, your show? Which one do you like?
Oh, I watched The Daily Show last night.
So did they have stuff to pick on Trump?
No, not really.
Well, who are they picking on?
They kind of moved. They did a little bit, but the memorable thing about last night's Daily Show is they have this ongoing feature called Sports Wars, which is a takeoff on sports gambling. And they say things like, if you think you have a gambling problem, stop thinking. Or remember, if you've hit rock bottom, there might be money down there somewhere.
Hey, our ratings can only go up from here.
My feminine ideal, Desi Leidick, was the co-host of Sports Wars last night. So no, they
Now say that again. About Desi.
My feminine ideal, Desi Leidick.
Tell me about that. Tell me about what you like about that. What do you like about her?
About her?
Yeah. What's the
not
ideal?
To like? What's not to like? She's elegant. She's smart. She's well dressed. I guess that goes along with being elegant.
I want to meet Carol's friend from that.
I know you do, and I don't know how we can make that happen.
I don't know. Let's get her on the show.
You'd have to.
We want to.
Okay.
When we want to have left-leaning women
Well, this gets back
of power.
This gets back to my breaking story about 1.5 million chickens starving to death in Iowa, which, by the way, is a real story. If you wanted to get into ag politics,
Well,
that-
isn't she into
yeah,
agricultural?
that's how you'd get her on the
Well,
show.
it's the chicken factor.
We're plotting. Here we are
We're
plotting
coup plotting.
to get Henry's female crush on the show. I know there's no chance of getting Desi Lydic on the show.
Did we
Although
ask?
We could reach out.
Well,
to the Daily Show.
let's get her agent.
We should do that.
Yeah, because look, we can have people call in.
But yeah, last night, the guy on CNN, Tapper, his brother, that's Jake. His brother Jason is the co-host on the Daily Show, and actually, in my view, he is way funnier than Jon Stewart, who's just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, John's gone over the edge.
Well, I mean, he's a very talented, funny guy, but he's just pushing a little too hard.
Well, hey,
Who did you watch last night?
Gutfeld.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in a good mood.
Well, Kat Temp, she's pregnant with child, and just some women just glow. Man, my ex-wife Renee, when she was pregnant with Bianca, she
Well, Fox News has scored big. They're one of their guys is going to be the defense secretary.
you know how
That's
do you remember Nancy when she was pregnant?
yeah.
Did she look different? They have a different glow. I mean, they're growing a life in there.
Right.
And the true beauty comes out. It's just awesome.
And then the true baby comes out.
And
And then
then
your life is in hell. Your life is
No,
hell
man,
for the,
my
for
life's-
the next 20 years.
my life was never in hell because of my daughter. She was,
Only kidding. Only kidding.
yeah, I
Um,
know you were.
But yeah, I've come to think of it, the Daily Show last night, I think they were kvetching about Trump's choice for defense secretary. They were making it look like that guy. They were showing some footage of him at some convention making a lot of crazy statements. But as it turns out, he actually does have a pretty strong military background.
Did you see the border czar?
What's
the
the
new
guy's
border
name?
czar?
The new border czar.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Oh, that guy. Oh, he's trouble.
Oh man,
I'm going to predict right now, in a nonpartisan way, that guy's going to be trouble. But
for who? You got? Are your papers in order?
well, I really think, okay, I do concede that immigration.
It wasn't handled right.
I'll give you that, but it's kind of like, yeah, if you've still got 1,000 kids out there separated from their families, and this is not something I'm going to have any direct impact on, but if they are going to do something about immigration, they really need to be careful about how they handle the family aspect of it.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick, because, okay, so
That
the vote, the people have spoken, right? Well, now we got to all get along.
right. Yeah, we need to have a
The
concurrence.
people in power just don't have carte blanche to run us. Somebody
Right.
starts handing out a new vaccine, I ain't taking that one. Sorry, not going to do it.
Oh no, well that's another area, but
All right, that's a sore subject.
I think the new guy, all these new cabinet people, it's going to be a while before it even becomes apparent what they're going to try to do. Some of them are talking about doing things on day one, and
But I'm telling you, if the Department of Education just goes away, boom, and all the money comes back to the states, boom.
okay,
That's awesome.
Okay. Well, maybe we should also have somebody as a guest on the show, somebody from the Kansas equivalent.
Okay,
And get
we can do that.
get their take on what might be the best.
Hell,
way.
my whole
Oh, there was something.
The fact that my grandfather was on 501 school board changed the history of Topeka.
And I noticed another news article to the effect that I think in USD 501 enrollments are down just a little bit, but at a couple of schools, enrollments like Topeka High are way up. And Washburn Rural, on the other hand, enrollments are down significantly. And
Price of real estate.
could be, I don't know. But there's a lot of things we could talk about on next week's version
Hey,
of the Topeka Factor.
if you want a Topeka Factor in your business, just give us a holler.
Personal message me on Facebook or
Yeah.
give me a call at 785-969.
We can bring the Topeka
4986.
Factor to your business.
Until next week, don't forget to pray, shake a hand every day. We'll see you soon.
All right. Hey, you all, I love you.
As do I.
Got that in.